Alright, so as promised, here is a really short review of some of these wide-angle lens adapters that you can buy on eBay. Now you find these all over eBay. You basically search for a 0.45x wide-angle lens adapter, 58mm if you're using the kit lens from a 550D. So basically I have two of these because this is the first one that I purchased. Now you'll notice that basically they're both very similar in the sense that it's made up of two pieces that you can unscrew. Here you have a macro lens adapter, and when you place it with this here, it turns it into a wide angle lens adapter. So it's essentially, it's supposed to be turning your kit lens, so 18 to 55mm kit lens, into a 8mm lens when it's at its widest setting. So I ended up getting this one first because it was super cheap. It was approximately 11 euros including shipping, which is really good. Now the reason I ended up moving up to this one is because there's a slight problem of vignetting with this one. So I'm going to show you that in a second. This is the second lens that I ended up getting. You'll see it's very similar on the back. Basically it just screws into the front of the lens just like any other like a UV lens filter or anything like that. Same system where you can unscrew here. This is a macro lens, screws on the front. Now the whole thing feels obviously heavier because the biggest difference is the front is much larger. So obviously on the back they're both 58mm so that they can fit onto the kit lens, but on the front I believe this one is just 62mm, so there's some vignetting with this one, and this one here I think is something like 82, maybe 72, actually I don't remember, but basically there's no vignetting on this one because obviously the front is much larger. So I'm going to show you what they both look like on the lens so that you can end up making your own decision. So I'm going to start. Let me come on this side. I'm going to be starting with this lens here, the cheaper of the two. So it just screws on to the front of the lens like this. Looks like everything's in focus. So you see obviously it adds a lot of stuff here, a little bit more here. So I think it looks pretty decent, but you'll notice, up here we have some vignetting up in the corners. We got some vignetting here. It's nothing, it's not the end of the world. It just irked me a little bit. So that gives you an idea. And basically as you focus from near to far, you'll see that the vignetting gets worse. So here, if you're focused on, right now I'm focused on infinity. So you see the vignetting's not that bad there. But as soon as you start focusing on anything closer, you see the vignetting gets quite a bit worse. So right now I'm focused on that far wall. So let's do a short, I'll show really quickly what it looks like before and after, I guess. So before, you can see on this side here, the mirror gets cut off completely. And as soon as you stick it on, you get all that. Now it's not screwed on right now. That gives you an idea. Okay. Now I'm gonna go show you this lens here, which is the more expensive of the two. This one here I paid 11 euros for. This one I think I paid 40. So same principle. Your screws on the front. But you'll notice now whether I'm focused far or near. There's no vignetting, so you can see approximately. They're both very. Let me put this on. give you an idea if autofocus works. Hopefully it does. So that basically gives you an idea. They're both very good, you know, for the price. You're not going to find any wide-angle lens for 11 euros. Basically, the cheapest is one of these Samyang 8mm lenses, which are excellent, but you know, 300 euros, I'm not willing to put that for just a wide-angle lens, although for a lens that's quite cheap, for me it was too expensive. So, yeah.